The St. Louis Fire Department provides emergency services that protect the life, property, and environment of our city residents. Here today to share more about the new equipment of our fire department is Fire Chief Dennis Jenkerson. Welcome, Chief.
Good afternoon.
So glad you could be here with us.
On a nice sunny day, we should be outside.
We should be, but we're not, and this is important.
Exactly.
It's important that we're not, because we have things to talk about with you. So there is, so you've been Fire Chief for how long, for our city?
A little more than 10 years right now. I've been with the city almost 40 years.
Long time.
Yeah, it goes quick.
Yeah, it does go by quickly, yeah. So there's some new news you guys have in the fire department for our city. Some shiny red things driving around.
Shiny red things, right.
So, talk about that.
Right. In 2016, the citizens of the city approved a $25 million bond issue. So we started the process of ordering fire trucks. It takes about a year to build the fire trucks. So within about the last month, we started receiving all this new equipment, all the new equipment that the citizens have paid for. And I'm going to slip up and say it's my new fire trucks. They're not. They're their fire trucks. We just take care of them. We received $14 million in equipment just for rolling stock. It includes, we got 2 new rescue squads. We've got a new 125-foot aerial ladder, a 100-foot aerial platform. We've got 3 75-foot trucks, 3 pumpers, and 8 new ambulances. So it's replaced about another third of our fleet.
So the order was placed in 2016.
Yes.
Takes a year to build a fire truck. That's interesting.
Right. Well, you can't go to a lot and say, I'll take that one.
Yeah, because they custom make every fire department.
Right.
Every fire truck.
You have to understand, I've got 30 firehouses. These are old firehouses, so they were made for smaller trucks. Over the years, the trucks have gotten much bigger, much more complicated.
Yeah.
So we have to make sure they fit in our houses, so they have to be lowered and squeezed.
Oh, interesting. So how long, when was the last time the city went through this process of getting new trucks? How old were the trucks?
Well, we replaced a third of our fleet in 2010. So this is the next third that we've replaced. The trucks that we just replaced were almost 20 years old. And they had seen a lot of work, a lot of abuse, so we're able to save some of them and use them as a reserve fleet, but we're going to go for replace the final third of our fleet coming up in this coming year. So.
Okay, so a new truck comes in. Is there a lot of training involved?
A lot of training involved. Well,
it's all different, right?
Totally different. The electronics on a truck has just totally changed. For an older firefighter, the mechanical parts of the trucks are almost non-existent. Everything's electronic. Everything is iPod or iPod related. You know, it's just all touchscreen. So there's a lot of training that takes place. When we get these trucks in, on the average, each guy goes through about 2 weeks in training.
Really?
And then before we put it on the track, they have to practice with them. Because you can't make a mistake with a fire truck when you're on a fire scene. You practice and practice and practice, not to get it right. You practice so you'll never get it wrong. Yeah. And that's kind of our motto.
So there's a big transition time.
Yes. Well, I thought there would be, but these young guys, the young firefighters are so used to the smartphones and the electronics, they picked it up pretty quick. They really did. So I would say the older firefighter was probably a little more hesitant than the younger guys, but the younger guys were just, oh, this is simple.
Yeah.
So it's been an easy transition. I will say that learning the placement of all the new tools and some of the new features we had, that probably took longer than learning how to actually operate the truck. So, but it's all going really well.
Good. So the same thing, so the fire trucks, the ambulances, all these things, they're all the high technology.
Right. Well, when we looked at the design features, the first thing we looked at is how to reduce injuries on a department, both on the EMS side and the fire department side. So we looked at all of the reviews and statements by the firefighters and how did they get hurt? Falling off the truck, loading line, picking up a stretcher. So we went in and we started designing, how do we fix this? So there is no more climbing up on top of a fire truck to reload line. Everything's down at hip height, if you will. I mean, everything, we looked at how the shoulder injuries were happening. We redesigned the hand poles, how you get up in a truck, how you're seated in a truck. And everything was done with efficiency for the firefighter at the scene, but also, more importantly, how we were trying to reduce these injuries. And now we're starting to see the effect of it, because 10 years ago we started this.
Right.
And now we're really seeing our injuries and our work comp claims come way down.
We're going to talk more about that in just a moment, because the stats on that are really interesting. There's more with Fire Chief Dennis Jenkerson after this break. Stay with us for more STL Live.